there's a guy named Senator Tom Cotton. I'm sure you've heard of him maybe. And he recently went on Face the Nation and talked.
Well, Bob, I'm not sure.
So check it out.
That Israel's expanding the war so much as it is trying to end the war. I think it's important to stress just what a huge blow the last 2 weeks have been against Hezbollah. Iran is behind all of terror networks, but Hezbollah is its most potent weapon. Hezbollah has over 100,000 rockets and missiles and mortars aimed at Israel. Iran has used that threat to deter Israel for years, going back probably 20 years or so. And now that Israel has absolutely devastated the entire leadership structure of Hezbollah, whether it's at the attacks that came just late last week, killing not only Hassan Nasrallah and all the other leaders, or some of their other actions, or hitting their weapons depots and manufacturing sites in Syria, now is not the time for a ceasefire or to de-escalate as Joe Biden and Kamala Harris want. Hezbollah is on its knees. The United States should help Israel drive Hezbollah to the mat and choke it out and finish it off once and for all. That means for the first time in decades, Iran would be exposed on its flanks with no terror proxy capable of devastating Israel or our troops and our friends in the region. That's what we should do, not demand that we have a ceasefire, de-escalate at a time when Israel is trying to win. We should let Israel win.
Well, Bob, that 100%, I agree with that. And I think that a lot of people don't understand. So what Israel did was three-pronged approach. What they did first was they attacked the beepers, right? So the beepers are basically the communication devices that Hezbollah was using at the time. And therefore, the attacking the beepers puts them on high edge. They already moved from cell phones to beepers because they were scared of Israeli intelligence, and Israeli intelligence was killing people with tracking the cell phones. And then they moved to beepers and they blow up the beepers. Then they host a funeral with walkie-talkies because you can't use beepers, can't use cell phones, got to use walkie-talkies. So they use walkie-talkies. Walkie-talkies explode, at the funeral. Boom. So then, now what are they going to do? Okay, so now they have to meet in person. So that's why you saw Ibrahim Aqil last week, and this week, Hassan Nasrallah, they're dead because they had to meet in person, because they had to gather a bunch of top Hezbollah officials and basically and say, okay, we can't really do anything. We basically, we have to convey messages in person. And then Israel blew up, he killed Hassan Nasrallah, killed Ibrahim Aqil, killed, a bunch of other top high-ranking officials, and took out the entire Hezbollah leadership. So right now you're thinking as Hezbollah, I can't communicate. I don't really have any upper leadership. They have no communication. There's no up and down. There's just, firing rockets. Just that's their only hope. So now Israel has to go in and just knock them out. Now they did appoint a new guy, Hashem, and this is actually the topic of this live stream. Hashem, and there isn't a lot of information about him. You could go to the beginning of the live stream to check it out. But essentially, this guy Hashem is a relatively, obviously an evil leader. He's the cousin of Qasem Soleimani, the guy that Trump killed. And someone's saying he's Nasrallah's cousin. I don't know about that. Anyway, there was, more strikes